like every night I would do this thing, and literally within 2 weeks he had a gap this big between his feet. If you don't think that your body cannot move, it's amazing. It's like this is all mud. And so all of this is malleable. And when we work with the lights, it helps to, the tissue tension patterns begin to move. And Dr. Sinner's going to be able to do a lot more with this. But I'm just showing you a simple thing. And I didn't know if he knew we did this with the lights, so I'm wanting you to see this. So we have that there. And now the body knows where at least a neutral bite is. Okay, and now when I relax, I do the same thing I just did there. I begin to relax all the tension patterns in this area. So I know it's like, when she's got these sticks in her mouth, how relaxing is it? I'm not saying that she physically, emotionally is super relaxed, but it's not that uncomfortable after you get used to it. You just have this up here. This is only going to be about 10 minutes of your life, but I recommend it every morning. So this is under her jaw, just like we had it there. And then we go to here and here and here and here. The same thing. So you can show it again if you want. With the sticks there, it's truly amazing. I had a woman I was on a biking trip with, and she said, oh, but my belly button is here, and it was. Her belly button was here, and her chest, her sternum was here. And she's like, oh, but I'm going to go to the physical therapist, we're going to work on it. He said it'll take like 10 times, and we did this session with her, and she was here. One time.
Now, I have to tell you,
you have to keep doing it.
Marta had the initial reaction to her sciatica was to nuke it. She said, I'm going to nuke it, Mom. I'm going home, and for 12 hours I'm going to be on these lights. And I had heard about
That's
this.
not quite true.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
I didn't say that. We're going to get that. Well, we'll tell that story in a second. Okay, so sit down here. What I'm saying is that this is a better, if you have gone and you said, she's right, I had pain. I thought, well, this is kind of weird with the sticks. That's okay, that's cool. It was kind of a cool thing that happened. But what I noticed was my mouth shifting. I noticed the very first time I did it, my bite changed. Has anyone felt that when they've done? I mean, literally, like, it feels like a teeth moved, right? Yeah. Because your feet, that's what my issue with mouth guards is that mouth guards are a point in time. Yeah. But if your mouth is truly able to shift, it's like sometimes like an orthotic, same thing. If I'm shifting and I'm shifting into a better place and it's trying to hold me where I was, it's not as good in my opinion. So I just kind of play with things that allow me to shift into healthier spots. So
you do it every morning.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a period where you didn't do it?
But yeah, I haven't. And then I'll notice if I start to get more tension patterns, I'll say, oh, you got to go back and do that again.
It's to help you hold. Yeah.
My question is, how hard do you bite down on these? Do you really need to bite hard?
Not that hard.
You're just holding them there.
You don't want to create more tension patterns.
Okay.
Of tightness.
And I'll tell you, the first time you do it, your jaw will ache. Most people, it might ache.
It does.
Because it's doing something. My smile was way over here. You can see early pictures of me. It was, I mean, I don't know which way it was.
So what happens is, if this is changed, there's an elastic mylar sheath, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Centers, but it goes down the whole spine, and now all of this begins to change. So this is where we get scoliosis and the rounding, and then we get digestive issues, we get even sexual dysfunction issues, we get knee, shoulder, hip pain. So what I've learned is I will do what I call alignment session with someone. I'll let them do that for themselves, teach them how to do that. If they have shoulder, knee, hip things, back pain, this is one of the most profound things they can do for themselves is make sure they get their terrain back into neutrality, and then the flow is so much better. So if you can, this is one wonderful way to use the lights to help you.
So my son's telling me that he can bionic that connection on one side of his mouth but not the other.
Yeah. So he would need more sticks on one side. So the way I was taught is actually to just buffer up the sticks on both sides until you can do it on both evenly.
I put two on one side.
Thought to say you can do 2 on 1, and whatever helps you get neutral. But I was taught to just to stack sticks, and sometimes I've had people that need 3, 4 sticks stacked, so that they are, because one side couldn't connect. But that's a good example of. I mean, even just sitting here, loving talking to you, you're looking at me like this, right? Because you're just. I mean, we have little movement patterns, right? And in yoga, I'm taught to actually look at you and be able to see, oh yeah, you're just like this. And we're going to work on lengthening and strengthening here. I have to say this is the fastest thing I've ever seen for me personally to help someone see it that way. And now, will they stay there? The woman who had changed, it stayed there for her for about 2 weeks, and then she ended up buying a system because she noticed it was shifting back, and she wanted to be able to do it every day for herself to keep it there.
And it will help you watch your patterns. I have people that come into my office to get the lights and they're carrying their purse and they're walking like this. And when my brain goes off, we're gonna de-stress this person and then we're gonna start working on alignment. We changed the word to alignment because proprioception kind of gets people.
And I find this works great, like chiropractors, if you go to do this before you go get your chiropractic adjustment, it's gonna feel like helps them so much easier. Same with your physical therapy, same with your yoga, same with anything you do. It's just going to make that adjustment that they're doing even simpler. Because your body already is kind of going, okay, I know where normal is. Because I'm sure you feel this when people are, it's not, that you're kind of fighting against where the body is working with. And if you kind of release that, you're getting them into a different place.
Marta, how do you guys deal with the drool factor?
The drool factor.
You just drool.
You know, I tell people that they might drool in the beginning because it's all, you know, they're kind of releasing all of these things. After a while, I find that people do that anymore. I mean, it's kind of like a first time thing.
You say you may drool, don't worry about it. We'll just give you a little cloth when you're done. You may. You know,
So let's sit you back down and have you do it again. And you guys are going to you're going to guide me to where these pads go, so we know you learn how to do this. So we'll say you can sit down. So now she's going to sit down. She's going to put the sticks in her mouth. But sometimes I tell people to wait till the very end. Okay, so I have a 4-pad system here. Let's say we have a 4-pad system. So where is the small buster pad going to go? Groin. And it doesn't matter which side?
No.
It doesn't really matter which side, okay? I like to usually do right first and left. If somebody has a big problem going on in their right hip or whatever, I'll have them finish on that side, and then they can just stay there longer if they want to, okay? So she's gonna do that. All right, now where do I wanna put the local pad? Between the shoulder blades. Between the shoulder blades, okay? I just put it right
do
back.
it like you have 3
It
pads.
can go this way or this way. I just go whichever way is comfortable for them, okay? Because I'm all about comfort.
You can do this with a 3-quart, so she's gonna do it like she's got 3 pads.
Well, now I'm gonna do it with 4.
Oh,
Then we just won't use the pain one.
Okay, I'll tell you, we'll do it both ways. But this with the pain buster, and we can try it back. Okay, so now, where does eye mask go? That's the easy one. It's going to stay on the eyes the whole time. Okay, I'll put that on there. Okay, so where does the big pad start? Under the chin. So the one thing I would recommend is, notice she's on a neutral space here. I would not recommend doing this with a pillow underneath the head, because now look at what I've done to the alignment. My goal is to have ear, shoulder, hip, heel, chin, right? So I don't want to be giving myself this to begin with. Okay, so now
we do this on a bed usually.
we do it on bed, and I usually have, you could have a pillow underneath your knees and lying flat, and again, this is what's going to go under a jaw. And how many minutes?
5.
What's the setting?
6.
6 with sticks. Okay, so 4 was better for lymph, but 6 is good for sit. What if you're doing both? Just do 6 and it'll still help the lymph. Okay, because it's just the lights are going to help the lymph regardless. Nitric oxide helps lymphatic movement. Excuse me. I didn't make that sense. Near infrared light helps lymphatic movement. Okay, so does nitric oxide. Okay, so there we go. So 5 minutes later, if I did not have this pad, it's fine. She just is doing it up there. Okay, same thing. Here, here, nice. Okay, 5 minutes later, she's going to change this. Where is she going to take this big pad? Yep, across like a bib. Okay, where is she going to take the pad that was behind her back? And notice I didn't go underneath her shirt. Don't go underneath this way because then it's much more pain. Go this way. So now this could go on her groin. And if she didn't have this pain buster, it would be right here. Okay, if she does have the pain buster, then she just gets to have both of them at the same time. And that feels really good to me. Because when you can open up this and somebody's, like the hip flexors get so tight, runners, my goodness, cyclists, it's so tight here. The soccer players, anytime you can get this movement, we are a nation of sitters. Anytime we can get this to open up better, our low back is going to be so much happier. Okay, so how many more minutes?
5.
About 5. What if it's 4?
No worries.
Life is not, nothing bad happens. What if it's 10? What if you fall asleep? No big deal. It's all good. Just start it back over again. Okay, then, and I really recommend you do not use a timer. If you have a Pure, don't use a timer. Even if just don't use a timer in general, because then you'll have to take the eye mask off, start it back up again. It's a pain. So just guess or listen to some music and like 2 songs or whatever you want. But don't try to time it exactly. It'll really make it more irritable. Okay, so then now there's the last place that she needs to put this. The low belt. So she's going to come forward and she's just going to move it down onto her back. My reason for doing this in the morning is my favorite reason for doing this in the morning is because usually you're wearing really, I don't know, if you sleep in the nude, that's fine, it's really easy then, but if you don't, you have light clothes on or something that's very simple to work with.
Would you do this
Buy your
before or
nightgowns in a light
after
color.
exercising?
I love to do it before I exercise.
Let's do it before, okay.
I mean, you could do it after, it's not gonna, but I love before because you seriously feel so much more coordinated. I mean, proprioception is the ability for someone like, think of a baseball player to know where they want to put the ball, or, I mean, it's so athletically coordinating to be able to do this. I mean, it's really, like you go like, I can play tennis better than I ever could, or whatever you're doing. Okay, so that's the last 5 minutes. Now, there should be 5 more minutes on your machine on a standard 20-minute time. So you could just stay there if you wanted to. You could take the sticks out and just hang out. You could change it to another setting after that. So I love to do this first, and then say my knee is really bothering me. Do this first, and then say, okay, my knee was really bothering me, so now I'm gonna put the pads on here, and I'm gonna change it to some things that might help the knee. So I look at my settings and I realize, okay, well, I know I have some scar tissue forming in there, so I'm going to put on setting 2 for a few minutes. And then I'm going to go with what really helps the joints. So if it was a deep knee injury, setting 4 is helpful for deeper tendon and joint tissue. So I go to 4 for a few minutes, and then I would do 5. So 2, 4, and 5, maybe for about 25 minutes each. Okay, so now I've just done about a 30-minute session, and I could have taken the eye mask off after this point when I went to my knee, could have started reading or doing whatever I wanted, or I could leave the eye mask on.
Do it like this.
Or you can put it, yeah, when I'm doing that, maybe my throat's also kind of sore. So while I'm helping with the scar tissue here, setting 2 might also help with inflammation and the throat. So do you see how it really doesn't have to be like, I'm working this right now, I'm only doing this. The body doesn't work that way. The body is always working all together, right? So we don't need to be like, I'm